Yeah, yeah. Hi, Ramesh. Good morning.
Yeah,
And
hi, Venu.
yeah, Tell me about yourself, Ramesh.
Yeah, hi, Venu. My name is P. Ramesh Chandra Reddy. So
Okay.
I'm having 5 years of experience as an DevOps engineer and Linux engineer. So I
Mm-hmm.
started my career as a Linux admin for two. I started working for 2 years as a Linux admin.
Mm-hmm.
After that, I have switched to the DevOps role in my current organization. So
Okay.
coming to my roles and responsibilities,
Okay.
so I'm having an experience on the experience on CI/CD pipelines. So
Okay.
I would like to work on the different platforms, cloud platforms like AWS and Azure. So I would like to work on the Docker, K8s, and some configuration tools like Jenkins, Ansible, and Kubernetes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you are working multiple tools. You have good experience and Linux, some other services. Okay, fine. So let me go to your experience. Okay. Uh, you said your experience in Kubernetes, right?
Yes.
Okay. Can you elaborate the difference between liveness and readiness probe?
Yeah. Liveness probe is nothing but it will make the pod to be live.
Okay.
For example, we can consider an example. If the
Hmm.
pod is if the pod is not if the pod is not working fine, it will try to make the pod in the live. And coming to the readiness probe, it will try to check the pod. If the pod is not ready, it will remove the pod from the load balance.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah.
And if the pod is unhealthy also, it will try to the liveness probe will try to make the pod in the healthy state.
Oh, okay. What are the types of errors you are facing in Kubernetes? And can you please list out those errors?
In Kubernetes, we are facing different type of errors that is called as image crash loop of back error and image error and OOM error also. That is out
Okay.
of memory error also. So coming to the crash loop image back of error. So this error we will face due to the pod issue, like when the pod went to the pending state, and moreover the pod name is not properly written in the the pod is not there in the Docker hub or anything. At the time we'll face this issue. So and coming to the OEM error, it is nothing but that the Kubernetes memory has reached to the threshold limit. So at the time we will face this out of memory issue.
Okay. And how to resolve it out of memory issue?
So to resolve it, first we will check the YAML file. First we will try to check that image, if the image is properly given or not, or the image is properly there in the Docker Hub registry or not. So if it is not there, so we will edit the YAML file, and we will try to again apply the pod, and we will by using the kubectl describe pod name, we will check the events. If then if it is ready, it will come back online.
Okay, and OEMM is out of memory issue, right? You were
Yes.
explaining, in imaging registry in access denied, like a wrong image. It should be nothing but crash loop backup error, and out of memory issue we need to resolve with the memory issue in a resource quota
Memory
level.
issue. Yes.
Yeah.
So for that one, if I receive that memory issue, I'll try to increase the memory in that particular server, so that automatically that OM issue will get resolved. Or if it is not get resolved, I'll try to restart that pod, and I will try to analyze which process of memory is consuming, which process or memory is consuming the space, by using the commands like by using the kubectl memory.
Okay, you need to adjust the memory limit into the cluster level, that is resource
Yes.
quota, in the
Yeah,
namespace
resource
level.
quota. So
Okay.
the resource quota is nothing. The resource quota is nothing but it is useful for the namespace level. And so when we adjust that memory in that resource quota, automatically that error will get resolved.
Correct. Okay, how do you upgrade the Kubernetes cluster?
So if it is in the if I'm using the cluster in the cloud, so we have an option like automatically all the components that the control plane and the worker nodes will be all them will be monitored by the cloud provider only. So if I want to upgrade the cluster, first I will upgrade the control plane. Before upgrading that control plane, I will take the backup of the etcd, so where all the data thing will be stored in the etcd. So I will take the backup of the control plane, then I will upgrade the first I will upgrade the control plane. Once it is done, I will go for the worker nodes upgradation. So in that one we have some add-ons also like core DNS and VPN CCI, like these things are there. So after that I will upgrade all those things.
Okay. Yeah, you are upgrading control pen, then node controller and add-ons. So where you are upgrading? So self-managed or managed services you are using. So which cluster you are using? Where you are upgrading?
I'm using manager service clusters.
Which one?
EKS, yeah, Elastic Kubernetes Service.
Okay. So are you experiencing shared library Jenkins?
I haven't worked on the shared library Jenkins. So if I got a chance, I will try. I would like to work on it. I don't have any experience right now as of now.
Okay. Can you please explain the Git branching strategies?
Yeah, in Git branching strategy, we have different type of branches. So one is the master where we can keep all our final code, and we have one more branch that is called as hotfix also. In hotfix, we'll keep the production issues, and we have one more branch which is called as future. In future, we will keep the new features.
Mhm.
So coming to the Git branch strategy, so as every DevOps engineer is aware of the things like in GitHub we have the, so first the developer will develop the source code and he will keep the code in the GitHub repository. So if the DevOps engineers need to do any test on the things, first they will do the test on the UAT or staging environment branches. Once all the things are completed, then they will take the pull request, then they will raise the pull request to the manager. Once the manager will approve the pull request, then the final code will be sent to the master branch. So if any new features need to be added in the branch, so first we will keep all the new features in the branch and we will test all the things, I mean like all the features in that branch. Once all the things are get ready, then we will finally push that new feature to the master branch. So like that, if you are facing any issues at the end of the master branch, like production any issues, so we will retrieve back to the production branch and the production features branch, and then we will test it. All the things are ready, then we will finally push it to the master branch by raising the pull request.
How do you resolve with bugs?
So
Bugs.
resolving the bugs is meant by testing the by doing the testing on that
How,
final code.
if in any bugs in a production, so you are going to move it to hotfix and resolve it, and then
Yes, yes.
merge it to master end.
The
Yeah.
finally will merge the code into the master branch.
Okay. Okay. Fine. So, do you have experience in Helm?
Yeah, I have an experience on Helm. Helm is nothing but which is the package manager used in the Kubernetes.
Um, so can I know the dry run? So before deployment by
Yeah,
using Helm.
obviously.
Okay.
So if I want, so I have created one YAML script in the deployment. So I have created a deployment script for, sorry, I have created an deployment file in the YAML script. So to check whatever the code I have done, have done it properly. So I will use hyphen dry run one command. So with the
Uh-huh.
help of the command, I will check the code. If it is properly ready, then I will finally create that pod. So like that, we can do the same thing in the Helm also, Helm repository also.
Do you have experience in migrate the cluster A to? uh, to be without a downtime?
Uh, yeah, I have an experience.
You have not experience on it.
Yeah, I have an experience, but I haven't worked on it. I haven't got a chance to work on that one. So I haven't, but I know the steps how to process that activity.
Huh. Okay, you know the steps.
Yeah, I have an aware. I will tell you. So
Okay.
to update the cluster, first we will take all the backup of the components like control plane and master code. So once we taken all the backups, so we have two environments which is called as DR and I mean like we have the one more secondary environment also. So we will shift all the parts to the secondary environment and we will keep that cluster in the maintenance mode. So by taking the cluster in the maintenance mode, then we will proceed with the upgradation of the cluster. Once the cluster is successfully upgraded, then we will move back all our traffic to the uh, newly created environment.
Okay, do you have experience with multi-stage Docker file? Why we are using multi-stage
Yeah.
Docker file?
So multi-stage Docker build is used to reduce the image size.
Mhm.
Whenever we are creating the single Docker file, the image size will get increased due to by installing all the components. So to reduce that image size, we will use the multi-stage Docker build and Alpine images also. So Alpine images are very less in space, so it will occupy less space.
Mhm.
So by using this multi-stage Docker build, we can reduce the image size.
Okay, one node is not working out of the 10 nodes in the cluster level. So how do you resolve it your end?
So first I will first so as we are aware that all the Kubernetes is running in the auto scaling cluster mode. Okay, if any node is getting not ready, if any node is getting is not working, the Kubernetes will try to create the new node. And to identify that node, which node it is not working, we have a command called kubectl get node. So
Okay.
first we will enter into the Kubernetes cluster and we will type kubectl get nodes. So we will check why the node is not getting ready. If it is not getting ready, the Kubernetes will try to restart that node. It will create the same configuration with the same.
So if it is node is not running, automatically restart. Automatically restart a new one.
Yeah, it will try to restart. So this
Right.
node will not get ready. Will be due to two issues. One is the pod will go into the pending. One the node will go into
Mhm.
the pending state. The
Mhm.
other one is the memory issue.
You know
Due to
about
these
the
two issues,
cluster autoscaler?
cluster auto scaler. Yeah, I'm aware of this auto scaling.
Okay, what a cluster autoscaler do?
So the customer, so whatever the see, for example, if I want to create by using the ckctl, I will create the number of the pods. So the number of the nodes, I'm sorry, the number of the nodes will be created depending upon the size and memory. So the cluster auto what is this cluster will do means, in the cluster we will the cluster will try to create the number of the nodes, uh, number of the nodes, like depending upon the size and the memory.
Yeah, if one node is not working fine, so if you drain it and then terminate it, and
Yeah,
cluster
we
autoscale
have.
maintain the desired
Yes, yes.
capacity of the
We
nodes.
have a
It
understood.
so that
We have one more option that is called as drain and cordon. So what the drain will do means, it will try to if the node is not getting ready, it will remove that node from the cluster.
yeah. And yeah, and you know about the pod autoscaler and uh, what how we can configure that is pod autoscaling.
Pod auto
Okay. It's
scaling.
that is nothing but HPA, horizontal pod autoscaling.
Horizontal pod auto. Okay, okay. You are asking. Okay, horizontal pod auto scaler. Understood, understood. So that is nothing but to escape. Horizontal pod is nothing but whenever the load will increases on the particular pod, it will try to create the same pod with the same configuration. So once the load will get decreases, then it will remove that pod.
Okay. Yeah.
That is called as
So
HPA.
yeah, yeah, fine. And similarly, so one node is not working in any of the cluster node in a cluster level. So in the we have two autoscaler. One is pod Holland pod autoscaler and cluster autoscaler. So cluster autoscaler, one node is not working. We need to drain it, then terminate it. And the cluster autoscaler maintain the desired capacity row and create the new node similarly. So it is yeah. That's it. And let me go with your Linux fundamentals. Okay. How to
Yeah.
check the IP address in the Linux?
So IP address. To check the IP address, we have two commands. If it is an old rel environment, we will use ipconfig. If it is a new environment, we will use IP space a.
So gateway, how we can check?
Gateway. So we can check it in. So we can use by IP route. We can check the routes, but the gateway. Let me check. Gateway. I think
The gateway is nothing but around.
route only. Okay. IP space route, or otherwise route hyphen n also.
What is mean of IP config, if config? What is use case of this command?
So in that one, we can see the Ethernet address and we can check our system IPs also. So we will have different type of Ethernets, ETH01, ETH01, and ETH02, those type of the things. So I
Okay.
will give an example. If yeah, tell me. I'm sorry. Yeah, tell me.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. How to check with memory? I want.
To check the memory in the Linux, you are asking, correct or
Uh,
not? Free space hyphen H.
some other commands give me.
Free space hyphen H to check the memory.
Okay. Fine.
So to check the process, I am aware. One is htop, another one is iostat,
So in the
and
top also we can able to
top
check
top
with
command. Yeah, in
memory.
top command.
Memory
Yeah,
edge
you are
top
asking.
also.
I mean, if it's yeah htop, we can check the process. So I hope you think we need to check the
Free
memory
space
at the
hyphen
htop.
M also. Edge free
Yeah, yeah,
space.
free space hyphen h or m anything.
So yeah, let's go. You know, while you are creating number of files, right? So with the nano editor or VI editor, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, you are at the top. You are given bin bash. Why we are given this bin bash?
See, so bin bash is an interpreter. If I want to create any files, so Linux need to understand means we will use this bin bash interpreter. So in default, we have the different type of interpreters like slash bin slash bash and slash bin slash ksh also. So in default, we will use slash bin and slash bash. So the Linux need to understand our things. It will act as an interpreter.
Ah, okay. Yeah. So this bin mask to tell the in the ultimate interpreter to tell the OS to execute this file.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Or it is an interpreter to run the shell scripts.
Can you please explain the deployment set and stateful set?
Okay, so so stateful set is normally used for the database parts. So that is coming to the deployment. These deployment pods will be used only for the web servers like that. So why means which is not used to store the data at the time we will use the deployment
Okay.
pods. So coming to the stateful set, it is linked to the databases. Whenever any pods is connecting with the database pods, at the time we will use the stateful sets.
Okay. And
But in deployment backend, so the deployment backend replica set also will be used.
okay, any other points added here
Mm.
for difference?
The stateful set will be created in the ordered, and while deleting also it will delete in the reverse order.
Okay. And name conversation?
Hmm. Come again.
Names. The names are static or different while
Uh,
creation.
names are names are static
Okay.
dynamic.
For deployment.
It is dynamic.
Okay. So let's talk about
Yeah, yeah. Tell
So
me.
how do you resolve it out of memory issue in a Linux server?
So to resolve the out of memory issue, first I would like to check the process in that server which is consuming. First I will check the process which is consuming more memory. I will try to restart that process by using the kill space hyphen nine. If it is getting restarted, it will get resolved. Or if it is not getting resolved, I will use the swap. I will swap it and I will done do it. By using the swap also we can reduce the memory in the Linux server.
Okay, I need to use with SAP. What is the use case? What purpose of use?
So it will try to reduce the it will try to increase the memory on that server, and by
Mhm.
using that one we will resolve our issues.
Okay, do you know the command of swap on and off?
Yeah, swap off and swap off. By using the swap on, we will give the swap on means it will when we try to execute the 5 GB memory like the swap on hyphen 5 GB like that. So
Okay,
it will exit the memory. So
okay,
there is a command.
okay, yeah.
I used in earlier, but I haven't used right now. That is the one thing.
Mhm.
Or we can have one more option. If it's coming to the EC2 server, we can increase the. I mean, like we can increase the instance type. Then also the issue will get resolved.
Okay, and before you tell, we'll kill the processing ID. So what is the command to your kill the processing
Kill space
ID?
hyphen nine. Kill space hyphen nine processing.
Hyphen 9 means 9 YVR
Hy-
use.
Hyphen nine. I mean, like to kill the pro. So we have different type of processes like kill hyphen one, kill hyphen three, kill hyphen nine. So if I want to kill any parent process like that, I will use the kill space hyphen nine that
9
parent
we
process.
can use forcefully.
Okay, forceful. Okay, okay,
Okay,
understood.
how we can move the files from in S3 to archive storage and retain for 5 years.
So to retain for 5 years, for example, if I create any bucket, so that file will be going to the standard mode. So that file will be retained only for 6 to 10 days like that. If I want to move that, if I want to keep that file to archive for 5 years, we have an option called S3 Glacier. So in S3 Glacier, we can keep that we can retain that we can keep that file for 5 years.
Okay, how many glaciers are there? I mean, first I need to know about the storage class and then
Okay.
glaciers, how many
In
there?
storage class, we have different type of things like standard, and another one is intelligent tiering, and another one is and another one is standard one zone, and the last one is the glacier. In glacier, uh, I mean, like we have different types like glacier inputs. Two things are there. So coming to the standard one, the file with the whatever the normal bucket will create, that file will be stored for 5 to 6 days. We'll use the standard. Coming to the intelligent retiring is nothing but it will archive the data in milliseconds. And coming to the standard one zone, so we will whatever the bucket we will create, it will keep that bucket for if we want to keep that bucket in one zone, we will use standard one a zone.
Okay,
And coming to the glacier, the data, whatever the data, we will try to keep it for more years like that. We will use the glacier.
no, not more years, I think 90 days. And we have glacier
90
types
days.
glacier instant retrieval, glacier flexible retrieval, and
Okay,
uh, and glacier archive something is the last one. That is make more, yes.
understood, understood.
Okay, yeah.
I will.
Can you elaborate with image pull back off and how do you resolve it?
So image pull back of first I would like to check. So for example, I will take one example. I have created a pod. So when I'm trying to execute that pod, I'm getting this image pullback error. To check this image pullback error, I will use kubectl describe pod and pod name. So in
Okay.
the events, I can identify that image pullback error. So to resolve this image pullback error, I would like to check the image name first. And image name, if the image name is properly given or not in the YAML script, and I will like to check that image, whether that image is available in the Docker Hub or not. These two
Okay.
things. So if all the things are okay, then I will try to restart that. I will try to restart that pod. So if the pod is going to the if the pod is not going to the pending state, the issue will resolve. If it is going to the pending state, I would like to check the authorization and access also.
Okay. So if your disk is 100% full, so in the server levels, how do you resolve it?
So if my disk is 100% full, first I will try like to check the applications which are consuming more, and I will identify the logs. Like in server level, we have different type of logs. It's called as var log messages and d messages. And coming to the application, we have access log, error log, and server logs. So I would like to check the logs. Which log is consuming more? Once I will get the up one, I will try to check with my concerned team member or manager. Once he will got, if it is a production, I'm saying, if I got any approval to delete that logs, then when I will start deleting that logs, the logs which are more than for 45 days or 50 days, by using this find command, I will identify that logs and I will delete that logs.
Okay, so instead of log issue, if you delete it, but still consuming 90, so what you need to do? Another method.
Another method, I will, if it is consuming more, I will try to increase that instance size. So, for example, the my application is running on the C7X
Wow.
FX launch. I would like to increase to the. I will stop that instance. I will stop that instance and I will change that
That
instance settings to the
i- why you
multi
need to
C7X
go
launch
with
like
the
that.
instance type increases? Because it is a EBS issue. EBS is 100%, but it is a disk issue.
Okay,
So why
I mean
need to
like
go with the
this is one more
instance?
option. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
I would like to. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I would like to. I'm extremely. I have given the wrong answer. Yeah, if it is related to the disk space issue, I have one more option that is called as EBS, Elastic Block Storage. So I would like to create one new volume, and I will attach that volume to that disk instance. Then the issue will get resolved.
so instead of new volume, any other method?
Mm.
So similarly, you tell increase the we can increase the size of the EBS
Instance
volume.
size. Yes, yes.
EBS volume we can modify it. Okay. So
Yeah, understood.
instead of creating new volume. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
And do you have experience monitoring, right?
Yeah, I have an experience in monitoring.
So how do you monitor infra and application monitoring?
So for application monitoring in our organization, we are using the Datadog. So by integrating this Datadog metrics with that server, we can monitor. And we have and in my previous organization, I would like to work on the CloudWatch and CloudWatch also. So by using this CloudWatch, I have one option that is called as so if my application is running in one instance, I would like to configure the CloudWatch agent. So by configuring this CloudWatch, by configuring this CloudWatch agent, I will give that CPU and memory. Once I will provide the CPU memory, I will create the CloudWatch metrics. In that CloudWatch metrics, I'll add this configuration CloudWatch agent to that. From there, I can monitor. This
I
CloudWatch is purely referred to the AWS cloud provider. We cannot use this thing in the Azure.
okay,
And
and
this data
mhm.
So Datadog can be used for the Datadog can be used for the application. I mean, like this application level monitoring. Application level monitoring. We can use this Datadog in any cloud providers by integrating it to the servers.
Oh, okay, and and you mentioned Datadog, right? Like, how do you monitor, we have different types. One is RAM and uh, APM and synthetic. So can I know about this difference? Do you have experience on it?
I have not got a get opportunity to work on this data duck. I am aware of these points only.
Okay. How do you monitor with the application Apache Tomcat application in a Datadog?
So by integrating this Datadog with that that Tomcat server, so we can monitor the Tomcat logs. Hello.
How do you monitor the latency of the application?
So
Application latency. Yeah. Um, let's go with the other questions. Okay. Mm. And do you have experience cloud services, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And what are the services you know and experience on it? Can you please list out?
Yeah, I have worked on the IAM
Hmm?
S3 and IAM S3 auto scaling, I love VPC
Okay.
and SNS also. Auto scaling, horizontal. I think auto scaling, all the parts will come into one go only. I mean, like
Okay. Yeah. Mm. So,
EBS. I'm sorry, EBS and EKS, EBS, EKS, and the other services.
okay, what is the difference between EABS and EFS?
So whenever I will likely created any server, the default root volume, the temporary root volume, or the default root volume will be created in the EBS only. So if I want to attach any volume, we need to create in the EBS, elastic block storage, additional volume. I'm saying.
Okay, I'm asking what is the difference between EBS and EFS?
So we have to. One second, I'll tell you. Big file. So, um,
So peering and transit gateway difference?
So
VPC
peering is
peer.
nothing but if I want to connect to the multiple VPC instances, I mean like so one to one VPC one to one VPC, I will use the peering. Transit gateway is nothing but it is used to connect the multiple VPC accounts, multiple VPC AWS accounts.
Okay. Um, so can I know the Git stages?
Come again?
Git stages,
I hope
Git
one
staging
second, one second.
areas. Yeah.
Git staging area. Okay. In Git staging area, we have different type of Git staging area. That one is called as working area, staging area, and local repo.
Okay.
In
And what are the stages in declarative pipelines you have experienced?
Yeah, in declarative pipeline, we have different type of stages. So these stages will be created with the help of the pipeline script. We have pipeline agent any stage one and stage two. Like that, we can create the multiple stages. Like first, we will create the GitHub stage. Once the code will got pulled into the GitHub stage, then we if I want to build any if it is related to the Java file, if I want to build the stage, so the second stage will be the Maven stage, and the third stage will be the testing stage. Like if you use any Sonar Cube server like that, we will that's the third stage, and the fourth stage is nothing but if I want to build any Docker image. So at the time we will use the Docker image stage. The final stage is nothing but if I want to deploy that application, whether in the Kubernetes like that, that is the final stage.
Okay, what is inode? You know inode?
inode. Yeah, inode is nothing but, for example, the default whenever so if I check in any server with the inode, we will get a default number that is like 011 or 001 like that. If I want to create any default file like touch with the file name, so the default permission file will be created depending upon the inode.
It is store the metadata information of the file.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Which one is stateful and security group or NACL?
Yeah, come again. Come again.
NACL or security group?
State.
Which one is a stateful?
Okay.
Why?
Security group is stateful. NACL is stateless.
Okay, why we need to call stateful?
See, in security group, if I will allow the inbound rule, the traffic automatically it will create the outbound road traffic also. In NACL, it will, we need to explicitly allow the inbound and outbound.
Mhm. Okay, good. Hmm.
And I'm sorry, you have asked one more question regarding to the EBS and EFS. So elastic
Mhm.
block storage is used to elastic block storage is like a physical hard drive,
Mhm.
and EFS is used like an network share.
Okay. And
So by yeah, tell me.
okay, any add-on
So by
points?
using this, yeah, by using this EFS, we can share multiple, we can share the multiple files, multiple instances simultaneously. We can share
Mhm.
that we can share the file to the multiple instances instantaneously, simultaneously.
Okay, for EBS,
For UBS, it will be used only for the single EC2 instance.
for single agent.
Yes,
Correct?
single EC2 instance. Yes, yes.
Okay, yeah, that's it, Ramesh. So we have a nice conversation with you, and okay, and okay, bye,
Yeah.
Ramesh.
Uh,
Hmm?
uh, yeah. Okay.
Do you
Okay.
have any
Thank you.
questions?
And yeah, and would like to know, so what type of work I need to know, and I need to know about your environment also. So
Okay,
what type of
I'll
environment your
okay.
project is residing right now?
Yeah, we'll tell you later. Okay, okay, then bye.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks.